Hey everyone, Shabbat Shalom, happy high Sabbath, end of Pesach. If you're following the calendar, um, I'm just going to bow my head really quick. Father Yahuwah Elohim, thank you for the opportunity to reach our brethren, and thank you for your word, for your truth, for your amazing revelation. I just want to, Holy Spirit, have your way. I just pray this sharpens iron and strengthens the body of Christ. In Yahushua's name I pray. Amen. So, today, I was listening to the audio book of the book of Ruth, and already, I was just in chapter 1 alone, I received amazing revelation. I don't have it all down. I don't have it all figured out. But, the general outline, I just want to share with people what I see, because this is amazing. Guys, we're expecting Yahuwah's judgment to be coming soon. A judgment, right? We're in the times of visitation. We're in the times of multiple visitations. We're expecting a judgment to be coming. We're expecting a Moses or maybe even Elijah to arise. We're expecting a paradigm shift. We're expecting a first fruits, the barley harvest, to be glorified in the light bodies, and the very, very wicked to be clothed with death. Okay? We're expecting this soon. In some fashion or form of another. We're expecting this soon. Probably in ways, it's probably just going to come out of the blue. Anyway, so when we look at the book of Ruth, I'm just flabbergasted. This is awesome. I just pray people have the eyes to see this, okay? The book of Ruth, chapter 1, let's just focus on chapter 1, covers this time right after the judgment. Now, we know, Ruth represents a heathen wife for Messiah, pretty much. Messiah is called to have a heathen type of wife. Okay, my system is freezing, so I don't know. Messiah is called to have a heathen type of wife. In the book of Hosea, for example, that's very clear. But the book of Ruth covers this as well, and it's really amazing. I'm not going to get into the rabbit hole, but so let's just take a look at Ruth chapter 1 and talk about this. This thing is freezing, so I don't even know what's recording and what's not. So, all right. Now, remember the key. By looking up the meanings of names, you can find the secret hidden message. Okay? So, and it came to pass in the days of the judges. Okay? So, Moses is going to arise. This is after Yahuwah's judgment. And you will see this within the entire chapter of the context of chapter 1. I just want to invite you to read chapter 1 on your own through this lens. And I pray you have the eyes to see it. It's amazing. Now, it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled. Okay, paradigm shift. The government will be on Moses' or Elijah's shoulder or something like that. Okay? And I guess he'll raise other people up too. There was a famine in the land. Okay, we're expecting a famine in that land, and Joseph to arise. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. So, we could look at what the meanings of Bethlehem, Judah means. That really means house of bread, house of God, house of a covenant, right? Moab, I don't remember what Moab means. Moab, let's find out. Moab means of his father. Okay, so let's continue in verse 2. I know this is not like the easiest way to do this, but and the name of that man was Elimelech. Excuse me. They got me tongue-tied, guys, So, Elimelech, his name is My God is King. And in this instance, we could tell from the context of the text that this God is a pagan God. Okay? right? The wicked are clothed with death at this point, and we'll see this in the text. So, the name of that man was Elimelech. Whatever, I can't, they got me all tongue-tied, so. And the name of his wife, Naomi. Naomi, I believe, is my delight. And the name of his two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, which means sick and feeble, okay? And they were Ephraimites of Bethlehem, Judah. So pretty much, they're clothed with death. They've been condemned by the El Shaddai, as Naomi says later in the chapter, for Yahuwah has dealt bitterly with me. Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara. Naomi was the pagan god's delight. Okay? All we have to do is to look up the meaning of the names, and this stuff comes very apparent. Now, Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died. Okay? He was my pagan god is king. Okay? He died. And she was left with her two sons. Now, remember, the names of her two sons are sick and feeble. Okay? Okay, are you seeing the paradigm? Are you seeing the lens like come to life? And they took for them wives the two women of Moab. The name of the one was Orpha, and the name of the other was Ruth. Now it's interesting, Orpha means Kazel, and Ruth means friend of Yehovah, or friend of God, friend of, and Kazel, when we're redeemed in our light bodies, we're supposed to be like Kazels, right? It's freezing again. Okay, when we're redeemed in our light bodies, we're supposed to be like gazelles, lift up like wings like eagles, okay? And Ruth means friend of God. So, friendship. So we know those who will be glorified will be friends of God. And what does it mean to be a friend of God? We do his commandments, we guard his commandments, etc. That's what it means to be a friend of God. So here we have really a Christian type of, like, probably two daughters who spiritually were born Christians but are raised in a pagan society. Okay? Now, Mahlon and Chilion died, also both of them, right? Sick and feeble. The sons of my pagan god is king, they died too. And the woman, Naomi, was left, who was the pagan god's delight, was left on her own from her two sons and her husband. She arose with her daughters-in-law, with her daughter-in-laws. So Naomi is stuck with Orpha and Ruth, who are spiritual Christians. We can tell that by the meaning of their names, because they have symbology that represents being in their glorified light bodies. Okay? That she might return from the city of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that Yahuwah had visited his people in giving them bread and giving them a covenant. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her two daughters-in-law were with her. And they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. Okay, so this is after. So she's pretty much forfeiting and going to where Yahuwah's people are, who are glorified in their light bodies, because Yahuwah's judgment already passed. And we'll see that in the text. And Naomi said unto her two daughters-in-law, Go return each to your mother's house. The Lord dealt kindly with you, as you have dealt with the dead with me. Okay? I just want to invite you to read this on your own, because it'll come to life. Like, it's really amazing. Yahuwah grant you that you may find rest, each of you, in the house of your husband. Then she kissed them, and she lifted up their voice, and they lifted up their voices and wept. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with you unto your people. And Naomi said, Turn again, my daughters. Why will you go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb? They can't have any more children. Now, the meaning of Naomi being God is my delight could be, I think, a Jeremiah 2 situation. My pagan god is my delight, but she originally belonged to Yahuwah. And Jeremiah 2, we have the people of Yahuwah who sold their soul to the devil pretty much, and that kind of thing. So that's what it seems like Naomi represents. Turn again, my daughters, go your own way, for I am too old to have a husband, right? She can't have any children. I want to blast through this because I only have 5 minutes left. Would you tarry for them if you were grown? Will you stay for them having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieves me much for your sakes that the hand of Yahovah is gone out against me. So I haven't fully meditated on this stuff, okay? And they lifted up their voice and wept again, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, and Ruth clave to her, okay? And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people. So the gazelle is gone back onto the pagans, and onto her gods. Therefore, after my sister-in-law. So, let's continue. And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave you, or to return from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go. And where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and my God shall be my God. Right? We could already see this in the prophecies. And the people who were not Yahuwah's people will be his people. All right? That's the point of the Messiah. That's the point of the end times, to bring the heathen into the kingdom. The whole Hosea thing, and we're seeing this in the book of Ruth as well. It's amazing. So Ruth really symbolizes the wife of the Messiah, who spiritually is a Christian, but is growing up in a pagan culture. So where you die, will I die, and there I will be buried. Yahuwah do so to me, and more also. I ought put death and part from thee. So Ruth is converting, okay? When she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her, then she left speaking unto her. So they went to until they came to Bethlehem. And it came to pass when they come to Bethlehem, that all the city was moved about them, and they said, Is this Naomi? Right? Because she's clothed with death. So people were like, Whoa, okay? And she confirms this. And then she says unto them, Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara. For the El Shaddai, the Almighty, has dealt bitterly with me. Okay? That's the judgment. I went out full, and Yahuwah hath brought me home again empty. Okay? Key word, empty. Alright? They'll be vexed, empty of spirit. Literally be living corpses. Why then call me Naomi, seeing that Yahuwah has testified against me, right? The judgment. And the Almighty hath afflicted me. It's amazing, right? So Naomi returned, and Ruth and the Moabites, her daughter-in-law, and her which returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Bethlehem, and they forfeited and converted to the Christian land, because there was nowhere to go. We see shadows of the book of Lamentations, okay, right? We see Lamentations. We also could see what we covered in the book of Micah, how with Ruth and with Naomi's daughter-in-laws, who were really spiritually Christians, Kazel and the friend of God, them marrying those two Elimelech's sons, who eventually died, could be what we covered in Micah, how the daughter of Yahuwah's people was corrupted and all that kind of stuff. So we could see fulfillments in there already in this chapter. Already in this chapter, we could see it all. It's really amazing. And of course, we see Hosea and all that stuff. So, yeah, I just wanted to point the way. Really amazing, guys. Really amazing. I just want to invite you to study this, meditate on it yourself. Excuse me. You know, I'm persecuted up the wazoo, so I know I'm hard to follow. So, okay, guys. I pray this is a blessing. May those who have the eyes to see, let them see. May those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Really amazing. Okay, thanks.